First, fast, and accurate. News Channel 25, WVTT.
Blue skies today in Olean. The high was about 30 degrees, but it almost felt a little bit warmer than that. Tonight we're going to see a low of 27 degrees with a little bit of precipitation. Tomorrow we could see temperatures reaching up into the mid-30s. A high tomorrow, 34 degrees with a little bit of snow, maybe some snow and rain mix. That's all coming up later on in Twin Tiers Evening News.
Global news update on WVTT.
We're getting new details concerning the Valentine's Day shooting of model Riva Steenkamp, girlfriend of Olympic Blade Runner Oscar Pistorius. South African authorities have charged Pistorius with murdering Steenkamp. Now, an official familiar with the case has disclosed new information about the shooting. CNN's Robin Kurnow has the latest.
There's been so much speculation, rumor, innuendo, guesswork about what exactly happened early on Valentine's Day in Oscar Pistorius' house when his girlfriend was shot dead. An official now close to the investigation is telling us that she was there to spend the night. They found her overnight bag and her iPad. They're also telling us that she was shot 4 times through a closed bathroom door, and that afterwards Oscar Pistorius carried her down the stairs and that she was still alive at that point. Now, more details will no doubt emerge in court. Oscar is appearing before a magistrate on Tuesday for a bail hearing. Unclear just how strong the state's case is against Pistorius, but they seemed pretty confident last week, saying that they would try and press ahead with premeditated murder charges. Oscar and his family have issued statements saying they strongly refute these murder charges. Now, what about Riva's family? Well, they've been talking to the newspapers for the first time. Her mother saying, "My baby loved like no one else." She too, like most of South Africa, is asking why, what drove him to do this, what was the motive. No explanation on that so far. And as for the family, they say goodbye to her on Tuesday, while Oscar faces that magistrate.
While Congress works on an immigration reform bill, similar work in the White House has set Republican lawmakers on edge. Athena Jones reports.
While President Obama played golf with Tiger Woods at a private club in Florida, his new chief of staff defended the White House against charges it's trying to sabotage congressional efforts to reach a deal on immigration by drafting its own bill without consulting Republicans.
We are doing exactly what we said we'd do, which is we'll be prepared in the event that the bipartisan talks going on the Hill, which, by the way, we're very aggressively supporting. If those do not work out, then we'll have an option that we'll be ready to put out there.
The White House says its immigration bill is strictly a plan B if Congress doesn't act. But a draft of the bill obtained by USA Today drew fire from Republicans who support the White House needs. Senator Marco Rubio called it half-baked, seriously flawed, and dead on arrival. Rubio, like John McCain, is a key GOP negotiator.
Leaks don't happen in Washington by accident. This raises the question that many of us continue to wonder about. Does the president really want a result, or does he want another cudgel to beat up Republicans so that he can get political advantage in the next election?
In the draft from USA Today, the White House would let undocumented immigrants apply for a new kind of visa so they could legally live and work in the U.S. They could seek permanent residency within 8 years if they pay back taxes and learn English, U.S. history, and civics. The White House insists it's committed to working with Republicans and supporting what Congress does for now.
And we're going to continue to work with Senator Rubio and others on this. But he says it's dead on arrival if it's proposed. Well, let's make sure that it doesn't have to be proposed.
Congressional negotiators plan to unveil their draft legislation next month. Athena Jones, CNN, Washington.
Country music star Mindy McCready is found dead on the front porch of her Arkansas home of an apparent suicide. It comes just weeks after her music producer boyfriend died of what authorities had ruled as a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Andrew Spencer has more on the troubled 37-year-old singer who battled addiction and mental illness.
Thank you.
This was Mindy McCready arriving to court in 2011 in the middle of a nasty custody battle after going on the run with her young son. A year later, it seemed her life had finally turned around, a positive turn with a new man and a new baby.
She had a long struggle regaining custody of her child, whom she finally just recently had custody of again, and again was establishing a stable home with her boyfriend, and things went off in a bad direction after he killed himself.
Arkansas authorities have not yet closed the case on David Wilson's death, and when pressed, McCready emphatically proclaimed she had nothing to do with it.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. He was my life.
Dr. Drew Pinsky says McCready struggled following Wilson's death. Pinsky says she even admitted herself into a psychiatric facility.
She became so fearful of the stigma and the way people were responding to her being hospitalized that she actually checked herself out prematurely, and now we have what we have.
Dr. Drew treated McCready for 3 weeks in an episode of Celebrity Rehab several years ago. Her early success on top of country music was followed by a downward spiral of drugs, arrests, and jail time.
You tell Landon I said good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Let me in, darling.
This, to me, is the most distressing part of this story. She is a lovely woman. We have lost her, and it didn't have to go down like that.
I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
No stocks today. The New York Stock Exchange was closed because of President's Day, but we have sports and weather coming up next. You're not going to want to miss it. It's coming up right now here on News Channel 25 WVTT.